This shloka number 2.40. Neha bhrikama naso asti pratyavayana vidyate so alpam api asya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayad. So the translation goes, in this endeavor there is no loss or diminution, and little advancement on this path can protect one from the most danger type of fear. So now you can see most danger type of fear, but I'll explain you how what is a fear and what would be the reason. So Bhagavad Gita says in this chapter about soul that this material body is made up of 5 elements. Anyone can guess what are those 5 elements?
Air, water, earth, fire,
Yeah,
earth.
yeah, right. Must have heard in the last class, I guess. So this body is made up of 5 elements, and this body, it is 5 elements. This is like material body, but we have a spiritual body also. But this material body can be cut into pieces, but the soul's nature is that it cannot be cut into pieces. So directly I'll go to an example to show you. There was a great king called King Alexander. You must have heard about this, right? No.
Alexander the Great.
Oh. Now we'll understand. He has given us 3 understanding why he was considered great. So I'll tell you one instructive story from the king's life. So Alexander, once he had gone for war. No, many times he had gone, but one time he was returning back. So on the way he felt very much ill, and he stopped in a tent for a while, and he discovered that his illness cannot be recovered. Physicians all were there, they were trying to give medicines and curing himself, but they couldn't cure Alexander, and he could understand that now my end has come. So that's okay. So he could understand that my end has come now. So the reason he understood that now I cannot live for more, and his long desire was that he wanted to see his mother's face, but then he discovered that he don't have that much time also to reach the kingdom. So he couldn't go. So then he called his generals. And he told the 3 instructions to his general. And general, when he heard those 3 instructions, he literally went into tears. But he couldn't, stop the king. That listen, I cannot follow this. But he had to listen. So the 3 instructions were: the first, the king said that when you'll take my body, only physicians should take my body to the graveyard. And then he paused. Then he said second instruction to his general, that when my body will be taken in coffin and it will be taken to the graveyard, all the paths should be strewed. Strewed, you understand? On all the paths, the gold, silver and precious stones which he had collected all his life will all be scattered here and there when he'll be taken to graveyard. And his third desire was, or instruction, that his hand would be out of strangling. Strangling means hanging from the outside of the coffin, and he'll be taken to the graveyard. So generals, they had no option other to follow the king's order, but they were like, they're feeling strange. What happened? Why such kind of order the king has given to us? What is required? Why such kind of things are required? He's such a great king. He has conquered the whole world, and now he's telling this. But no one actually, dared to go in front of him and ask. Then he said. Then one of his favorite generals went ahead and asked that, dear sir, whatever you said, I'll make sure that it will happen. All your 3 instructions, whatever you have desired, will make sure that it will happen. But I have just one small question to ask you. Like, what is like everyone has this strange question: why you have given these 3 instructions to us? So the general, actually before approaching the king, he said that like very compassionately he went to the king and he touched his hand and kept his near his heart, saying that this is an affection of love, that how they is so important to the general. The king revealed his why he gave this 3 instruction. The first instruction was that when he'll be taken to the graveyard. No, the first instruction was that physicians would be taken to the only the physicians will touch his body and take him to the graveyard. So he told that the reason is that all his life he works so hard, so strongly, but the physicians at the time of his death they couldn't help him, and even the death was so much mercilessly approaching him. His armor, his swords, which was very sharp, that even he could cut the stones also, so sharp. His armor, his friends, his relatives, his wealth, his fame, nothing could help him out. And then he said that all these physicians they couldn't help me. So this is a proof that I want to show to the world that even the physicians which I have taken medicines or they were trying to cure, they couldn't help me at the time of death. The cruel death took me away. And then he paused for a while and then he said that the second instruction he gave, that all the money, all the gold coins or precious stones he has collected all his life should be thrown away on the ground, so that people should know that when I am going and when I am leaving this world, even a single coin, a single penny I could not take. And and I have collected so much, I have killed so many people and during the wars and collected, but this money cannot help me. And the third instruction was that all his hands should be outside. So he said that my hand should be outside because I have come empty handed. बाहर बहुत सारे सेइंग होते हैं, बहुत सारे गाने भी गाए होंगे, खाली हाथ हैं तो खाली हाथ जाएंगे. बट जब आता है कि एक्चुअली व्हेन द टाइम कम्स कि to understand about this, in the whole life we don't understand, but when someone dies then we say खाली हाथ आए तो खाली हाथ जाएंगे. बट क्या फ़ायदा जब पूरी ज़िंदगी भर कुछ नहीं किया, अभी जाके खाली हाथ आके क्या करेंगे. So during this lifetime we should understand. And the King Alexander, he was not very old that he would be at the deathbed. Due to some sudden illness he felt ill and he died. So he wanted to prove to the world that even though I have lived such a great life, but still I could not succeed in making my life happiness. But then there should be something happiness in our life, right? आप नहीं सोचते कि मेरे जीवन में खुशी होनी चाहिए. We all think that we all hanker that first we'll get education, then we'll get a job, we'll get more happy. Okay, job हो गया, okay, job हो गया, थोड़ा सा अभी शादी कर लेते हैं, then I'll be more happy. But then still after having being married, you'll get अरे happiness तो आया नहीं. चलो थोड़ा we'll have kids, then I'll be happy. When I'll play with my children and they'll be saying in their voice, what we say, in Hindi we say totla voice, like they feel like very nice. His father is calling me, father, come here. So see how this is important. So this is like very important to understand. I'll tell you why I gave this example of this King Alexander. But then the reason I gave is that we collect this related to us only. We also in our life we all want fame. बचपन में हम बहुत सारी स्टोरीज होते हैं, इमेजिनेट करते हैं वो फेम. I'll do this, I'll study so much hard, I'll work this much and I'll get fame. So whole our life is based on this only, that getting money, getting fame, and then being surrounded by relatives. So what is the wrong in that? Do you think it's wrong? Do you think it's wrong?
Depends. I mean, wrong, right? I mean, should be clear about how should I say that? Wrong or right?
No, my question is simple,
Uh,
that we endeavor so much that to get money. You work 5 days in a week, hard, 9 hours or 10 hours, right? You must be also working same. So the question is that we are working so much. We are working for money, fame. Everyone wants in our life their fame. Even in childhood, we also used to have desire that I'll be the first ranker of the class. I'll be the first in the class. But then hardly we get this opportunity, or not everyone gets the opportunity. So we also like, काश मेरे पास अभी ठीक है, अभी नहीं करा, next I'll do, कुछ करके दिखाएंगे. But in this we forget about the soul. So today's topic is related to soul. How we are this material, this spirit soul is engaged in the material body. So with death, just like King Alexander, our wealth, money, fame, relatives, the forcefully we have to leave all these things. We are forced to leave all these things, and we go empty-handed. So, अभी हमें मालूम है कि now that from this example that we'll be going empty-handed. He worked so much hard to collect some money, which anyway he could not use it. So, shall we stop working?
Absolutely not.
We should. Anyways, this money won't be any useful to you.
So, I mean, we should not stop working. We should work, but the aim should not be only to earn money and
Yeah.
to leave everything else.
And I'll tell you now what is the next. I'll give you an example that of lion. Lion considered the king of jungle, right? But if he sits and he just sleeps whole day and opening his mouth like this and expecting that some food or some deer or some small living entity will come and fall into his mouth and I'll be satisfied, this won't be possible, right? He have to go out, hunt for some prey, and he has to eat. So lion is also forced to work, even though he's a king of the jungle, but still he has to work. So again that question came that we have to work. Yes, we have to work, but then in the consciousness that we'll be working, but then we should not forget our eternal position. Our eternal position of this soul. In Bhagavad Gita says in the second chapter, we are not this body, we are soul. In the first chapter, like Prabhuji must have given you this answer कि we are not this body, we are soul. आपने भी सुना होगा कि हम ये देह नहीं, हम ये आत्मा है. कहीं बहुत कथा में आप गए होंगे. So we are not this body, we are soul. So then what is the eternal position of the soul? Is to be eternal servant of Krishna. So ऐसा होगा, अरे मैं क्या किसका दास हूँ? आप जानते नहीं मैं कौन हूँ? मैं इंजीनियर हूँ. मैं आई एम सच अ बिग एम्प्लॉई. यू आर टेलिंग मी दैट आई एम बिकम सर्वेंट? Impossible. But actually the soul's position is to serve. I'll give you one material example. Like in a relationship between a man and a woman, my man is always trying to give a woman something gifts, trying to please the woman very, I'll try. In any ways he's trying to, please that woman. So it is the nature that, that he'll serve. So the soul position, this position is that he wants to serve. But now coming to the material world, we have become the boss. I am the boss. I won't serve. I'll be served. I want to be served. So this is the position of the soul, that we are the eternal servant of Krishna. So this is a process like chanting or reading. We can understand or revive our lost relationship with the Lord. We always have a relationship with the Lord. It is not that by following a process we'll develop something, and no, we already had this. It's just by being covered by material covering, it has been lost. So we have to revive by the process, which I'll tell you eventually after the class, or some classes will be explained to you properly. So the reason I was telling that one has to work. One has to work and at the same time remember the Lord. Because most of the time, Mumbai is a place where it's famous for what, you know? It's Mayanagari. But what are other things? What it is famous for?
It's famous for rush, I mean life, I mean bhagte raho.
Yes, fast running life. So fast running life, we forget that अरे सोचना ही नहीं, भूल जाते कि कहाँ जा रहे हो. I'll give you one small example. There were two friends. So one friend was driving and one was sitting next to the driver. And okay, there were three friends. First who is driving, second who is sitting next to him, and one is sitting behind. So the driver who was just driving the vehicle, who was just engaged in driving the vehicle, running. I want that it should reach 160. 160 or 180, whatever the high speed on a vehicle. Consider the Zen Maruti, it has like almost like 160, 80. So I just want it should be reached. But his friend, अरे बाबा wait, where we are going? कहाँ जा रहे हो आप? कुछ सोचा ही नहीं. बोला no, I have to just work, I have to just drive. I'll go. बोले no, wait. Then he stopped. Let me wash this vehicle. बोले अरे बट क्या करे, तुम इतना गंदा हो गया vehicle, you just walk, driving the car. Then he washing, and then the third friend said, oh, what are these two friends doing? And he asked, where are we going? The first friend said, no, I don't know, I just want to drive. And the second friend said, no, I just want this vehicle to be neat and clean, should be polished, should be shining. But you don't know the end, you don't know where you have to go. What is the use of this? So you understand the meaning of this story? That we are also working very hard, and whole day we are just 10 hours, 12 hours we are working. Fast paced life. Mumbai is famous for fast paced life. But then and in the meantime, we are also trying to polish our body also. अच्छा दिखना चाहिए, tip top shirt, tie. And then we forget that we are a soul. We should take care of the soul also who is sitting inside the body. But we never think. And actually, this modern system has made this culture so bad that we don't even think that this thing also we have to think like spirituality. But like, even if you tell that आप हरे कृष्ण मंदिर जा रहे हैं, ओह हरे कृष्ण मंदिर, क्या उम्र देखो अपने ये तो बुढ़ापा में करते हैं. People will say that, and it's my personal thing that people do say, हरे कृष्ण मंदिर जा रहा है. अरे एक उम्र है जाने की, ठीक है 1 महीना में जाओ, 2-3 महीने में जाओ, 1 साल में 1 बार जाओ, जन्माष्टमी में जाओ, बस हो गया. और क्या, आप तो बस आपने सोच लिया कि हर संडे जाएंगे हम. But this is not the case. We have to know. Earlier in Vedic times, people used to work according to, there were 4 divisions, and according to their constitution position they were working. And like in a 7-8 hours they'll work. Another time in the night time they'll devote for some spiritual activity, like doing some reading Bhagavatam or seeing some spiritual dramas like that. But now, as soon as we reach home, one button, and actually we forget why we see TV, because ऑफिस में इतना टेंशन आता है, फ्रस्ट्रेशन, बॉस बोलता है मैनेजर नहीं, वेट फॉर एक्स्ट्रा टाइम एंड वर्क, एंड होल वीक वी वर्क and somehow try to complete work, and then we come frustrated from office. Not you are the great souls, but most of the cases we see that we are working, and then after office we just want to relax, and in front of TV we sit and feel like, okay, now I'll try to forget that frustration, and I'll watch TV, and then I'll laugh. But then we forget our position, that I have to do something for the soul. And the soul's activity is when he gets happiness, when he's connected to a proper source. Just like a lost child, when he goes out in the street wandering, and he tries to work here and there, and try to get some money, and he eats, but and he stays very much unhappy. But when he meets his father, and then he becomes properly situated, and his father takes care of him very nicely. So this is what it is required, that we should know, or we should actually, when we can know, when we come here. This temples is not just to come here. ऐसे बोलते हैं ना कि मत्था टेके, प्रसाद लिए और घंटी बजाए, बस. Temple is a place wherein we can associate with genuine sadhus, with some devotees, wherein we can understand ki why we do what we do, what is the importance of why these people are taking beads in their hand, what is the importance of spiritual life. Actually, frankly speaking, from my example, I was also not very much interested in spiritual life, but I used to feel very much amazed कि अरे मेरे उम्र के साथ के लोग हैं, मेरे classmates हैं, and they are like just going there and they're studying, trying to do attend classes. What is the importance? When I came here, I could understand this is so important. So the reason I am telling all this is that on work, how we are working very hard, and still we don't know the aim, or even we don't even get time to even think about it. So this is a place wherein we can actually understand what is the aim of their life. Okay. So there is one saying in Christianity that you can get all the wealth of the world, but then even if you get all the wealth of the world, what is the point if you lose your soul, loss of eternal spirit soul? So even if we work for, even if we get the whole world's wealth, but if we lose this soul, there is no value. So this is a saying from Christianity, how even they support we should practice spirituality. And Prahlad Maharaj, who is a great devotee of the Lord, he also says that from age of 5 years we should start. You must be 25 now?
28.
28. Okay. You? 25. So now we are a little late, but now we have come here. We should actually start to practice spirituality. And even in temples also, we can see so many devotees from our age only. You met Nagesh Prabhu now. He knows the importance of chanting. It is actually he has done M Pharma, and he also has a good position. And he also had the option that okay, I am on a good position, I am in a good company, and as the spirituality I can do it later also. Now I should work at this time when I have the strength in the body. But the intelligent man is one who knows the importance of spiritual life. So this material body which I was telling is this combination of matter, like 5 elements, and just like a soul is being engaged in the material body, we are also engaged in this body. So this soul's eternal nature is what we are always searching for happiness. Like whatever we are working, we are looking for happiness. Don't you think so? Like there are so much of advertisement, billboards, like you take this, you'll be happy. Now there is a big propaganda of online shopping. Must have seen it. Now everyone, I've seen, I guess 50-60% of the people now in Mumbai, I'm very much sure that they are very much in a week they are always browsing through the websites. What new has come, how much discount I can get. So this online shopping, although it's very much it's like people don't require it much, but they want. Why? Because we think that from this we can get happiness. So there are a lot of advertisement of happiness. Even if we try to get, and even if we get, we won't be happy. Like just by if I give you a watch, and you'll keep it, and you'll also feel happy. Oh, this nice watch. And over a period of time, ठीक है, watch है, side में रख दिया. So this material happiness is always decreasing, but spiritual happiness is always increasing. I'll give you this example of devotees only. How devotees are living here. They are eating, taking prasadam, dancing in the kirtan, and they are always enthusiastic. Their faces are also very much bright. You see here, when you come here, you see devotees, their faces are very much bright. When you, actually, you can observe this thing once, that when you come in the temple, you have darshan, kirtan, beautiful deities. Can anyone remember the dressing of the Lord today? No?
Bright colors, I think I don't remember, but bright colors were there.
Okay, you had darshan, huh?
No.
You didn't have darshan?
I directly came there.
You directly came here. Oh, you're a very sincere person. So, coming to a temple, we can have darshan first. Just by darshan of the Lord and His glances on us, it help us, and all our stress. This is my personal experience. I am telling you that people and even myself, we get so much de-stress just by coming in front of the Lord and just praying to Him. So these prayers work a lot. So it's very important that we can, when we come to temple, and observe the deities. I somehow have some attraction that I want to see which color they are wearing. So you can have a darshan, and then you can see, and then tomorrow when you come, you can let me know also. Okay? You also. And last, we have a last story of Ajamil. You have heard the story of Ajamil? Ajamil story? Okay. So when you come out at the exit, there is a diorama of one man who has been, whose hands are tied by ropes, and three fiercely looking persons are dragging him. So just before the exit, you will see there, and there are three beautifully dressed devotees who are in a yellow silken dhoti, who has four-handed, just similar to Vishnu form. They are trying and saying, no, you cannot take this. So I'll tell you the example of Ajamil. Ajamil, he was born in a Brahman family, and being in Brahman family, he was very much pure in the heart. Pure means very much innocent, very much devoted to the Lord. And he was quite young, and his father had become old, so he was helping his father to do deity worship. घर पे पूजा करते हैं. So every day he used to get flowers for the Lord, and like this way he used to do very nicely service to the Lord. And since he was a mature man, so he was been married, and he had children also. But one day, while getting flowers for the Lord, that Brahman saw a Shudra lady. Generally, in the previous ages, there are four classes of people: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So Shudra is considered the most degraded class of people, who are always doing activities of ignorance. Ignorance means having all spicy, all wrong kinds of food, liquor, doing some, having loose connection or illicit connections with women. So there was one Shudra person and a prostitute. They were embracing and kissing each other in the forest, and he happened to see them. But he just looked once and he went away, but that thought remained in his mind. And he was very much disturbed. And then he said, no, and then somehow there some desire came into that Brahman, Jamil, that no, I want to enjoy with this woman. Then somehow he left his family and he married that prostitute. but then to maintain the family, so Ajamil, he had left his family, his father's relatives, everyone, and he shifted to another house with that prostitute. And he was to maintain the family of the prostitute. He was working day and night. So he used to used to do burglary, like uh, he used to be like a thief. He used to kill people, murders. He used to rob and whatnot. He has done, and in that way he used to maintain his family, and he had produced 10 children, and the most younger his name was Narayan. Also there is a big story behind why the son name was Narayan, but I will not go much into deep into that. So he was very much affectionate to his younger child, Narayan. Every day he used to call, Narayan, come here, bring my shoes. Narayan, bring my cloth. Narayan, come here. And he used to play with him, he used to caress him. Then he became old. Over a period of time, working, he became old. And so he was on his deathbed. And then suddenly he saw 3 fierce looking men who were very much ugly, who had big teeth. In movies you must have seen, I guess, or some serials, I don't know, like big hair, fat, ugly, very blackish complexion, and very fierce persons. And they were trying, they came and they are trying to pull his soul or pull him out of his body and take him to Yamraj. And for naturally, no one wants to leave his body, because we want to, even anyone who is here who's seen his some relatives passing away. So the moment of death is not very much pleasurable to see anyone passing away, because it's very much painful. So in that painful situation where his son was been when his body was being dragged by this Yamdutas, he was very much fearful, and in that fear he called for his son, because in help he called at, Narayan, Narayan, please come here, please help me. So helplessly he called for Narayan, but he had done some bhakti in his like earlier with when he was with his parents. So he had something in his mind, and in that way he could remember also the Lord. So immediately, as soon as he uttered the word Narayan, 4 messengers of the Lord, or 4 Vishnu Duttas, they came, and they came for the rescue, and from the rope which they were pulling Ajamil, these 3 fierce looking Yamdutas, they cut the ropes and they said, no, you cannot take him. They were saying, why? No, because he has remembered the name of Narayan. So Krishna says that Matas Pritin Povanam. So whatever the state of mind at the time of death, one soul is, like whatever state of mind you have, you will get the similar body in your next life. So suppose you have like you wanted to enjoy, or you wanted to enjoy some whole life you were eating non-veg or some very prohibited foods, then next body at the time of death will surely think about that only, and then next life will be given an animal body which will be suitable for you to eat all meats. So similarly, if someone is very much don't want to wear proper clothes, then they get a tree body. Next life you expose yourself fully, you become a tree. So this coming back to Najamil, he said that now I will now he has uttered the name of Narayan at the time of death, so leave him. And so Yamdutas could not take him to the Yamraj, although his full life was very much sinful. What not sin he like even बोलते ना कि sinful person को भी शर्म आ जाएगी, इतना he has committed so much of sins, but then just by name of Narayan he could be saved. And then he completed his like bhakti, and then he went again back to the spiritual world. So you see how the importance of taking the name of Lord is so important, that even the sinful person can be purified just by chanting the names of the Lord. Okay, so I'll end the class now. It's already 8 p.m. So you have some questions or something you can ask.
I'm not ready to this.
Please go ahead.
So the same question, my question was given, I was asking you then.
That we can discuss personally.
Okay, so that and I have a couple of questions. Let me think.
Okay, you can think, then he may ask. You have some questions or any comments? If you wish to give, please feel to give any comments you have or any queries,
One question that
suggestions.
One question that I have is how to balance. I mean, see, when we talk about spirituality, you'll find many sadhu, sannyasi completely, involved in spiritual activities. Others who are not, they're completely not. Now, a guy or anyone, who, because you have come here, then if you have come to the material existence, then there are certain worldly responsibilities that even you have to fulfill. How by taking that take spiritual path, and conversely how to use spiritual path not only for the growth of your spirit, your soul, but also on the
Material side.
front.
So this is a very nice and practical questions, wherein like how we can balance our spiritual life and material life. This is what you're basically trying to ask.
Yes.
So it requires proper balance. So just when you're practicing spirituality, we have to be very much focused. And when we are in a material world, like you are working, so say for in your example, I don't know your what is your basic everyday schedule, but I can surely say that whatever activity you are doing, you can take out some time or 10-15 minutes from your life or more, and you can devote to Lord.
I can give you exact routine in very concise.
Yeah.
Monday to Friday, mechanical routine. I wake up at 9, I get fresh, and then 15-20 minutes japa, office, 9:30, 10, 10:30, back. Don't know how long it takes. 5 days, same routine. And then 2 days, that's the time that normally I spend on my own.
Yeah, I can understand that. So this routine is very normal, and for everyone here, working, they have to go from this routine. So what you can do is you can focus some part of your daytime in chanting the names of the Lord, which you are already doing. So you can continue doing that, and you can increase it more if possible for you, because you leave at 9:30 for the office, I guess, then again come back at 9:30.
I leave around 10.
10.
So then I come back around 10.
Yeah. So in this situation, you can practice spirituality, and also you can balancing means that your spiritual life, whatever you're following, should not be affected, and your material life should not be also affected. So if you complete our spiritual activities in the morning itself, morning, even if you go in the morning to any place early in the morning, it's very much appreciated. You know why? Because traffic is less, right? But traffic kitna, coming from metro, I've seen, from if you come from Chakala to Andheri side, there's one bridge comes, I don't know the name. So I see so much of vehicles just in the queue just to go from one place to another. So they are in the peak hours. So but when the same vehicle, when it goes in the morning, then it can just run at 100 ka speed also, right? So this morning time is so important. So same way, in the morning the traffic is less. So when we do these activities in the morning of this chanting Hare Krishna, so this will be more potent or more powerful in the morning hours, because there is less traffic in the mind, less thoughts in the mind, and it will help you to focus on the chanting of Hare Krishna. So in the more further sessions, we'll tell you how, what better way you can chant in Hare Krishna, and the best way to improve this chanting Hare Krishna is to be someone who is chanting Hare Krishna nicely. Because जब हम किसी को देखते हैं कि oh, he is doing nicely japa, very straight, doing with intention, then we also feel inspired that okay, this is the way it should be done, and I should also chant very nicely. So we get inspiration by looking at others. Normally for myself it is like that only, that we feel inspiration by looking at others. So that is one practical thing, that you can chant with some devotees. And Saturdays and Sundays is important that you come here. It's like charging the battery. बैटरी जब चार्ज करते हैं तो पूरा हफ्ते हमें चलाना होता है, जैसे फ़ोन को चार्जिंग करते हैं. सो वी पुट चार्जिंग फॉर 2 hours or 3 hours, it gets fully charged, and then whole day or a day, one a day, like more than one day it goes. So similarly, this coming to temple, attending classes, taking darshans, participating in kirtan is like charging a spiritual battery, so that whole week, whole 5 days we can continue, and then again coming back to temple, then again associating with devotees. Today devotees are less, but if you come in the association, you like in the morning, you will see many devotees here in the morning. So we have some facilities also here to stay back. Nagesh Prabhu, he was telling you, right?
Yeah.
So Nagesh Prabhu, he was telling that there are some facilities or some devotees who stay back in Saturday night and attend the morning Mangal Aarti. So Mangal Aarti is what time,
4:30.
Yeah. So like for you there will be a schedule change, like getting up 7 or 7:30, you'll be getting here now at 4 o'clock in the morning. But I have one devotee here, he is also working here, and he is working, but he still very much likes to attend morning program in temple, starts at 4:30. So this is like very nice, gives boost or help us to go on with our material duties, because unless you will not charge your battery, you won't able to perform nicely. So this is required कि हम will fill ourselves fully with spirituality, and then over a period of time we can balance also. Does that give an answer to your question? Partially. Yes, you have some questions, comment, suggestion?
No.
Nothing. Satisfied?
No, so I have a little bit of doubt, but I think the further verses and all further discussion will cover it.
Okay. Some suggestions you need to give, some comments?
No, nothing.
Okay. So I'll thank you very much for coming for this class.